Hi, everybody. Before you answer today's questions, I do want to briefly review point of view. So first of all, point of view refers to the author's choice of narrator. And again, the narrator is the one who's telling the story. So then point of view is, well, who is telling us the story? Is it a character in the story, or is it told from an outside perspective looking in? So now that we've established that the narrator is the one who tells the story, I want to see how much you remember. So try to say the answer out loud before I reveal it. So can you tell me who the narrator is when the point of view is first person? The narrator is one of the characters in the story. Okay, second person, who's the narrator? Okay, second person, the narrator is addressing the reader or is talking to the reader. Now, for both of the third persons, who would the narrator be if it's third person? Third person, either one. The narrator is not a character in the story. It's told from an outside point of view looking in. So with third person limited, we focus in on just one character. It's limited to one character or the main character's perspective. And if it's third person omniscient, it's still told from an outside point of view looking in. It's the narrator is not a character in the story. But this time, if it's third person omniscient, you see that prefix omni, that means all or every. The narrator can reveal multiple characters' thoughts if it's omniscient. So now I want to show you a few more examples and review the pronouns that you'll see with each point of view type. So again, if it's first person point of view, it's told by one of the characters in the story. And a really good example is our third quarter novel, The Watsons Go to Birmingham. And if you look at this excerpt down here, if you remember who the narrator is, it's Kenny Watson. And when he says, I moved closer, and when I got right next to him, I could see boogers running out of his nose and tears running down his cheeks. I moved closer. I couldn't believe my eyes. Byron's mouth was frozen on the mirror. Okay, so here, Kenny, the character, is clearly telling us the story. Some pronouns that are clues would be I, multiple eyes, and then I couldn't believe my eyes. So clearly it's using those pronouns that tell us, hey, one of the characters is telling us the story. Now, we don't see second person point of view nearly as often. It is when the narrator directly talks to the reader. So you'll see words such as you or your because they're talking to you. They're talking to the reader. So one example that we looked at earlier this year briefly would be from Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go. And you'll see several you and yours because the narrator in the poem is talking to the reader. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away, and so on. Now, again, the third person points of view do not have a character telling us the story. It's told from an outside point of view looking in. And if you remember earlier in the year, we compared point of view to a video camera. So if it's third person, it's like someone who's not in the story is just standing back and holding a video camera and showing everything that happens. Now, if it's third person limited, that video camera is focused only on the main character. So we only see what happens to them. We only see their thoughts. So if you remember from The Giver, it focuses in entirely on Jonas. First of all, you'll see it's not first person. Jonas is not telling us the story. You do not see I was beginning to feel frightened. It says Jonas was beginning to be frightened. So you'll see characters' names. You'll see he, she, they instead of I. Now, again, this one is third person limited because it only focuses on Jonas. We can only see Jonas's thoughts, and we can only see where Jonas is. For instance, in the book, you never see what the chief elder is thinking. You never see what Asher is doing in his dwelling. We can only see what Jonas would be experiencing. So that's third person limited because it's limited to the main character. Now, third person omniscient point of view still has someone from the outside looking into the story. So again, if you think of that video camera, it's from an outside point of view filming what's going on. But if it's omniscient, that video camera can see events, thoughts, actions of any character. So it could be showing on what's going on. It could be showing what's happening to the main character. And then it could switch to a totally different location and show what's happening to another character and even show what both are thinking. So here's an example from Charlotte's Web. And I won't read the whole thing to you, but you'll notice in there that we can see what Avery is dreaming, what's going on inside her head, and we can also see what Fern is dreaming. So when we see what multiple characters are thinking and feeling, that's third person omniscient. I hope that review helps as you answer your questions for the day. Thanks.